for joining us today. As above, so below, we're talking about moon energy, lunar energy to each and every one of you guys. If this is your first time in my life, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. ATRs are the African traditional religion by which we harness direct disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. If this is your first time in my life, I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ. I am here to help melanated people that really want to learn real magic, conjure, mysticism, and any form of real magic, melanin magic, carbon magic. This is the platform for you. I keep it real. I keep it honest. I keep it truthful. I speak. I'm a very straightforward person. What's up, my crab cakes in the house? Monique Fo, and then I got my Demetrius in the house. Well, Mama Susan back to back. Gemini, Cancer, and Gemini back to back. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Now, those that follow me and support me know that I've been at it all freaking day. Um, I'm here in Lauderdale at the Westin. What's up, my Ryan, my Libra Cardinal? Now I'm not gonna be on live for an hour like I normally do. What's up, my baby Scorpio? But I want to talk about something. Is that my Virgo? All right, Virgo. Um, and I want to say salutation to my Madrina, to my Madrina, to my Oba, to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Ajay. When it comes down to magic and spirituality, when it comes down to conjure, please, I'm 52 years old. 52. I've been doing magic since I was a child, 3 to 4 years of age. I'm a Sagittarius, Moon in Aries, and Rising sign Pisces. I'm I'm a person that take care of myself. So, and I'm not here doing what other people are doing. So I said all that to say this: I don't have a reason to get on social media and lie. I'm not. I'm not here trying to be popular. I am famous. I am well known. But I'm not here to be popular because my concern is not to tickle your fancy. My concern is not to tell you stuff that ain't true and tell you stuff that you want to hear. I tell you things that you need to hear. And if you're truly a Black American that wants to practice the ATRs and want to be proficient in magical practices, that you will have dignity, respect, and honor when you do your magic, whatever that may be. My air signs, my water signs, my fire sign, and my earth signs. This is going to be really important, and I'm going to teach you the dual nature of this. What I'm talking about. This is about growth. The moon rules over growth, seasons, and phases. Now, if you want to prosper and you want to be sustained when it comes down to your magical prayers, your magical work, your magical decrees, whatever energy that you're working with, whether it's voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Kamdemle, whatever, Kimbanda, the universal laws apply to each and every one of us. Now, I want to say this before I go any further. You are grown man, woman. You got a right to choose to do or not to do. Don't think any day, any hour, any second that the reason that I'm going to be upset with you, unless you messing with my money or blocking me from some ass or messing with my family or children, I don't see a reason why I'm going to get upset. You ain't messing with my money, we not going to have a problem. Because you got a right to live your life however you want to. So I want to say this in the freedom of Sagittarius. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you some experience, knowledge, wisdom, understanding based in facts and factuality. Okay? What's up, my Boaz? Thank you for bringing your eyes in here, Bo. Now, I said in my message today, don't let your money make enemies for you in the ATRs. And let me tell you something. I'm a businessman, naturally and spiritually. And one of the things that a lot of you black American people that get into the ATRs, you're going to make enemies or people that are going to be in opposition for you because of money. And let me explain why. Many of you are not good at resources and you don't count up the cost before you start working with a particular spiritualist, whether they're in hoodoo, voodoo, or Santeria, Kumi, Congo. And a lot of times your request that you may have or your desire, you cannot financially afford what you're asking for. And you need to understand that it takes resources and currency to fulfill your particular endeavors. When you have multiple desires that you want to be fulfilled, when you want protection work and you want money work and you want to have favor in your love life and you want to get your 14-year-old enemy, you want all this done. You got to be able to finance, and you can't start a work. I'm gonna take that back. You can start a work, but it is not going to be successful because you can't afford to maintain the working that you're doing. I believe in being strategic. I believe in being a person that I'm being rational about the things I'm trying to obtain, the objectives that I have on my goal list. And so when people want to grow in magic and they want to grow in conjure, the first thing that black people want to do is to go and find somebody that is cheaper, or they want to niggerate. Niggering means that they want to concoct something of their own. So they, in their mind, in their eyes, they saving money. To all of you that like to add stuff and stretch your oils and your incense and anything that you got going on, I want you to understand when you dilute anything, you lose the concentration of it. Whatever its strength level was, you have lowered it. Every time you try to get around doing things the correct and proper way, you're gonna cause problems. And what I mean by your money make enemies, because when you start something, and say for instance, I went and got my house, I purchased my house, and my mortgage, my contract basically is for 30 years. Now, the reason why the bank is so strategic in how they go through your finances is because they want to know that if you can afford the house and if something happens, that you still have the necessary financial freedom to be able to catch up before it goes into foreclosure. Being able to being able to afford something is that when you get in trouble, you still have a safety net. You have to have a financial safety net when it comes down to contract. This is why a lot of people take unnecessary ass whooping. And the reason why I say unnecessary ass whooping, because if they had counted the cost before they started that fight, they probably would have never started that fight. But because you don't understand that you don't have that level of endurance, and you did not figure out and find out the strategies or the schemes or the tactics or the abilities of the person that you're going to war with, now you will find yourself deprived of finances in your basic life, and now you cannot fund not only your personal life, you cannot fund your spiritual life. I believe in being smart. I believe in being crafty, cunning, but I believe in having a financial budget to accomplish the goals that I set out to do. I'm always looking at my resources, determining whether I can move forward in something or not, because I don't want to create financial enemies. I don't want to tell Padrino Michael that I'm planning on receiving the father of Babalu Aye, knowing that I just got through doing two ceremonies, one for 36 $3,200 derecho, another one for $3,200, and now this one was almost 7,000. Nobody asks you to sign up for this stuff. And don't ask people for things that you're not ready to financially look at. Now, let financially take care of. Now, let me explain something to black people, black American people in particular. Spirituality is not, in ATRs, is not window shopping. I'm gonna say this again. You know how you window shop? You go in and you look at certain things that you like, and then you may try some of those things on, knowing that you're not going to purchase anything at that particular time. Well, spirituality is not something you can try on. There's no testers. If you're not ready to deal with the energy, frequency, and vibration that is emanating from these ATRs, then I suggest you, sir and ma'am, stop until you get into a financial position that you can afford the process that may be necessary and for you to accomplish what you're setting out for. Now, the reason why I applaud some of my tribal members is because of their level of consistency. I'm not talking about over a few months. I'm not talking about over, I'm talking about there's some people out here young that I applaud that they have been financially consistent in season and out of season. I'm going to say this again. They signed up for things that if I had was to grade them, I would tell anybody these people are not going to cause enemies when it comes to their finances, because they have shown me, even dealing with me, that they can be consistent, and when they bring up something, they're ready to purchase. The last thing you want to do is create enemies, because you start stuff and stop things. And the reason why I say that you're going to create enemy is because when you're a person that start and stop, what happens is the person you're dealing with, the spiritualist, they're going to see you in a different light. And they're going to put you in a category. And black people like to say somebody acting funny. Somebody is, oh, you're not treating me like you did. You ain't spending like you did in the beginning. After all, this is a business. I'm trying to give you some basic wisdom. So some of you do not get out here or get out here and don't understand why you have made an enemy. And they're not hating on you. They're not jealous of you because you're starting things. I didn't get into start my crowning process not ready, prepared. A lot of things that you guys see me accomplish is because before I started, I sit down and count up the cost. I count my ducats. I also consider about the lifestyle I live, and I have no intention of not start of living on high on the hog because I want to receive an orisha or I want to receive a cauldron. I'm not gonna stop being able to shop or do the things that I need to do. Now, one thing that I haven't done because I got all this stuff going on with my spirituality, I didn't go purchase me a BMW because a car depreciates in value and I'm investing, and so I'm looking for a return on my investment. So I look at my spirituality as a business and it's an investment. So I'd rather go and make some money that make money before I go spend some money that I got to maintain. You understand? So when you understand what a liability is, when you understand what an asset is, you start understanding how to function in and out of spiritual ATRs without not creating enemies. The reason why I say this, people don't like me. They have a right to not like me. But they are not my enemies because of funds, of finances. The retro. When people got a beef with me, it is not over money. I take that back. because the dual side of making enemies with your money, because this is the business and there's a lot of people that want clients, and a lot of time people will come in through social media and try to undermine the clients that another spiritually have. So your level of prosperity can create enemies. When somebody feel like they have more time in these ATRs than you do, but you seemingly, in their opinion, you're prospering a lot more than they are, or you're getting paid more than they are, and then that jealousy creates enemy. My money didn't create the enemy. My money that I'm receiving is creating the enemies. People will count your pockets. People will sit there on your live and count how many readings you do, how many incense burns you do, how many people are donating to your causes or your events. All of that creates enemies. Currency creates enemies. But what I'm saying, I'm not going to create an enemy due to my finances because I'm not paying my way. Always invest in your spirituality in these ATRs, because the last thing you want to say or be said about you is that you owe anybody anything. Now, my tribal members and the people that work with me, they don't owe me anything. Some of y'all, my saints in particular, you're going to create enemies in your endeavor to go deal with spirituality, because when you're not good with money, you also 9 times out of 10 a liar. Because when you are not good with money, you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, which means that you are not only a liar, you're a thief. Is anybody following me? And in these ATRs, you're gonna get somebody that's in hoodoo gonna do hoodoo against you. Somebody gonna do voodoo. Whatever you're into, they're going to do it because you are going to rob Peter to pay Paul, and you're gonna lie about it. Because a part of you maneuvering in the ATR is to deceive people. Because if you were coming in through the front door, you could be straight up and say, "Listen, I'm able to do this, not do this," and people will determine who is that. Somebody said, "Good evening, Chief." Well, good evening to you. So these are the things that I try to share with black people, sober-minded thinking, because let me tell y'all something. A lot of you guys are so busy trying to get out of investing in yourself that you're going to try to get somebody else to give you something of themselves that you did not pay for. And you never want to leave a relationship in the ATRs owing anybody spiritual anything. What's up, Cancer in the house? Making vows and commitments will make enemies. You will have enemies with that person or the spirits that are with that person. I'm using myself as an example. This is why I tell people don't lie to me. And because you ask for forgiveness and talking about you're sorry, that don't change the energy I got. It is energy in. I try to explain to people that don't try to impress me. If you want to get my attention, Zelle me, PayPal me. If you want to get my attention, then be something that I'm attracted to. And I do not sleep and I do not have sexual intercourse with my members, neither my tribal members or any godchild. So if you want inches, then come at me, come at me in a way that's non-spiritual, and I don't mind tapping that ass. But if you come to me through pretending to be a godchild or a member of my church, it ain't, you wasting your time. I'm telling you, you're wasting your time, and you're gonna let your money make you enemies because you're gonna be trying to convince me you can afford something, and then you ain't gonna be able to keep it up, and then I'm gonna have a problem. Let me explain something to you, because I'm not a whore like some of y'all are whores. Y'all always running sales. and clearance rack and 2 for 1. I don't do that. Let me give you some wisdom. What's up, Minister Al, my Aquarius in the house? Let me give you some wisdom when it comes to money. It is easier for you to have a high standard than to lower your standard and then try to lift it up again. Once you start negotiating and haggling your prices, then your integrity drops. You understand? Your standard drops. You can no longer say what you stand for because nobody knows what you stand for because all we do is see what you're falling for. You understand? You can't say what you're standing for when you're falling for many things. Huh? If you say you don't like to be fucked in the ass, that means you need to stand on that. Because if I catch you in the midnight hour and you said you're going to do it for me, your testimony can't stand. If you're going to stand for something, make sure you're standing on that, 10 toes down. And when it comes down to money and currency and frequency and vibration, you got to respect the energy and the outside that God has blessed you with. Understanding that every man, just like their gift, they got a measure of resources. And you must be wise when it comes down to your resources. You must be able to take the proper risk based off of what you believe you have the ability to risk, not what somebody else is telling you. This is why I tell people I suggest things. When it comes down to magic, frequency, and vibration, I'm suggesting. I'm not telling you to do anything. You know your pocket better than I do. Well, not really, but I will pretend that I don't know your pocket. But I let you make your decision. You understand? Because I'm going to prosper regardless. And I'm going to prosper with truth and not deception or conetry. If you don't want your money to make enemies for you in these ATRs, make sure before you start out on the journey that you can afford that relationship. That spiritual relationship with that card reader, with that hoodooist, with that voodooist, with that conjurer, with mystic. I let people know straight up, it takes resources to be with me because I invest a lot into my spirituality, and therefore I'm not going to take wooden nickels. I'm not asking you not to take wooden nickels. I said I'm not taking them. Don't confuse what you are and who you are with who I am and what I do. When I speak up for myself. I don't ask anybody to do what I do. I say if you want me you want me to work for you, this is what the donation is. Don't pretend that I am so high and so costly that I'm causing you financial ruin when you don't have to deal with somebody like me. There's always a Walmart prophetess, a Walmart conjurer. There's always somebody, a Dollar General card reader that you can go to. There's always a Dollar Tree spiritually, somewhere, somehow, in all these traditions. You don't have to deal with me. Don't let your lack of money cause you to be an enemy to me. Because I'm not the reason why you have financial problems. If you knew that those eggs was not hatched, you shouldn't have counted them. Okay? I hope I said something on tonight. I hope I was clear on tonight. I hope not only dealing with me and the ATRs, anybody. Don't let your money make enemies for you in these spiritual streets. Because these people, they're poor and they're thirsty for financing. And they will hurt you over $20. They will start a freaking war over $75. They will bury you for $145 that you owe them. People will act so unruly over a $10 reading, they gonna call you every name in the book, your mama and your granddaddy, and your flicky cat over 50 cents. Play with these people and these ATRs and think they won't hurt you over some small piece of change. You got a better chance, and my money ain't nothing to play with either, but you got a better chance of messing with somebody like me that it will say, okay, it wasn't about $100, it wasn't about $1,000, and I go about my business. I count it as a loss. There are people out here, they're strapping for every nickel, dime, and penny, and they are not gonna allow you, sir and ma'am, to take bread from their table as they believe, and you being in a war that you ain't even ready for. Cause these spirituals in the ATR, they will get mad with you about your money, not their money, your money. Who you go to, and you was going to me first, and now you over there. Though your money spending with who you want to spend it with will cause you to have enemies. Take this however you wanna. You can take it as a game or something to play with, but life is real. All right. I'm not gonna be on here because I'm tired and I need to take a bath. I need to wash these nuts and get myself ready. All right. I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.